Hi. Uh, I wonder if you have ever been frustrated with a Christian. I'm picking on Christians this time, but I think the Christians that tend to subscribe to this channel and speak with me to be of a kind of Christian that I'm not going to be referring to. And a kind of Christian that these other Christians, I think, will softly nod in acknowledgement. It's the kind of Christian that really irks atheists for actually a very good reason. It's the kind of Christian that argues the validity of a philosophical claim based on its agreement with the claims of the Bible. It doesn't seem to occur to these people that their philosophical argument is on a basis different from the Bible is to imply that the criterion of the Bible is somehow incomplete or unable to represent the world accurately. But for these Christians, they don't quite get that. They believe the Bible is the standard and the only acceptable standard. Do you know what we call that? We call it dogmatism. We do. It's very annoying. Christians out there, lend me your ears. Is this not annoying? I mean, imagine, better yet, that a Christian and a Muslim were arguing, and the means to justifying their arguments were on their respective texts, scripture. Would they ever agree about anything? Well, they would only agree about things that were found in both scriptures. I've never read the Quran. I have no idea what's in it. I've only barely read the Bible. But I think you'd agree, even if you're a Christian, you would agree that that's not the way of going about philosophical discussion. What rather would make sense is for you to justify your claim that the Bible is the ultimate standard for, in this case, theological knowledge. But to do that, you would have to actually use reason and not just the Bible, because you would actually have to define your reasons for believing the Bible is more accurate than the Quran or any other such scripture that would act as a standard of knowledge in theology. And atheists think they're so smart for having pointed this out. And they think, oh, those stupid Christians. And yet, when I come to you people, mixed theists and atheists among you, and I propose to you an idea, the negative response is given to me in the same way that a rather poorly understanding Christian would try to defend or debunk a philosophical argument by doing so with a criteria that is supported by philosophical reasons. Do you see? When I talk about free will, and you come back and you say, no. You see, there are two possibilities. There are determined events and random events. What you don't seem to get is that in my proposing that there exists free will, I'm proposing that the criterion that has you come out and proclaim, this is the way it is actually wrong. I know. This would be like the equivalent of the atheist coming to the Christian saying, "No, you can't use the Bible as your basis of philosophical truth. You have to first justify the Bible." Same thing. People come to me and say, "No, no, 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 silly man. Let me educate you on this subject. You see, there are two possibilities." It would be like if I came to you and I said, "Sir, I believe people become ill because of little animals under their skin." And you say, "Oh, silly. No, no, no. Sit down, Jonathan. I like you. Oh, sit down, sit down, sit down. Let me educate you on this matter. There are only two possibilities. You are either sick because of possession of evil spirits, or it's a placebo, it's all in your head. Something you just walk off, go around the garden of it." I say, "Oh, yes, I see that. That's very nice. But I rather believe, you see, that you become ill because of little animals under your skin." And you say, "No, no, let's go through this again. There are two possibilities." I say, "No, no, 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 no. I understand that. I understand. I went to school too." And you say, "Oh, perhaps you should return." I say, "No, don't be so cheeky." I say, "I believe that the assumption, the underlying philosophical point of view that would make the assertion that there are only two possibilities is wrong." And you say, as it dawns on you, as to my intention, you say, "I say, well then." I said, "Well, no, 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 just run with me for a second. I mean, could you justify, perhaps, for me, this worldview that only accounts for two things?" "It just is that way." "Oh," I say, "it just is that way. It just is that way. It just is that way." I say, "Okay." Oh, so, not that old English people went, "Okay." They didn't. That sounds quite strange. But if they did, they would say, "Okay, I'm leaving now." Because that, my friends, is the workings of dogmatism. Whenever you have someone say, "It just is that way," it's not any good. See what I'm getting at here? Is if you come to me and say there is no free will because I subscribe to a philosophical worldview that allows for no free will, then you are saying there is no free will because I said so. God damn it. Thank you. Just needed to get that off my chest, really.